What is going on, everybody? Poker Dad here. Here with a new video and streaming live on Twitch right now. Going to be reviewing a tournament I played last night, May 1st, on BetOnline, 7.5k guaranteed, where I ended up bubbling right before the money, which kind of sucked, but that's okay. Now I want to take a look at this session and review it. So I appreciate you coming in, checking out this video as always. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to filter first and foremost to let's see, we're going to filter to hands where we we're going to say hands where we voluntarily put money into the pot. Also, soft flop. So we're going to say or. And we're also want to see hands that we faced an all-in pre-flop to see if there are spots that we should have called that we didn't. So I'm going to look at that. What else? So voluntary put money in pot, soft flop, faced all-in, pre-flop. And I think I want to see hands where I'm in the big blind as well. So let's look at player position pre-flop, where we are in the big blind. As well. Just to look at big blind defense as well. So we're going to look at. And specifically, we're looking at last night's tournament. So this accounts for 66 hands. And I'm going to sort it, of course, by the earliest hand in the tournament. And we'll go from there. So we're going to replay all hands in the tournament. And we'll just minimize this here for now. Okay, this works. Okay. So, let me just mask the names because I don't want to show the names here on the mask player names. Okay, so that's in here reviewing specifically other players. Okay, so let's go and get started here. Right now the blinds are at 25.50. And right now we have an M of 43, which converts to 100 big blinds. But I always like to think in terms of M here. So we got pocket jacks here in the button. I open it up 3x. Get a call from the small blind. And our opponent checks here, and there's a spot here. I'm just okay c-betting. With it being early on and us being deep, okay with a 2/3 pot size bet here. Which I do. And he folds, so pretty standard. Pocket threes here. Blinds are 25.50 still. So we get an open here from UTG. And we call. Goes multi-way. Yeah, and pocket threes here is just an easy fold. 6-2. Obviously be folding that up. So the reason why I just want to look at big blind hands also is just to see if I have good equity to call I'm gonna use Power Echo Lab for that. 6-4. All right, so here, just a multi-way limp pot. We have middle pair, but it's multi-way, so not going to be going crazy here and playing this. We get pocket aces here. We're at the 30-60 level right now. Small blind. And I just isolated here. I isolated 4x, which I think is fine. Get the call. So this player right here, we have 199 hands on them. They're 46-6, so they're a pretty loose passive player. Limping a decent amount, 56 out of 119 times. So weak player. They have an M of 24, where we have an M of 34. So the plan here is just going to obviously just try and just c-bet here now. No reason to slow play or anything like that, especially versus an opponent like this. We want to try and get as much value as we can from them. And given the stack sizes here, I'm definitely going to bet 2/3 here. And he folds, which is fine. I mean, he's coming. Obviously, he's playing 46% of his hands, so his range is huge. He's going to miss his board a lot as well. But we definitely want to try to get value from him, a weak player like this who might still have a tendency to call. He does have a high fold to c-bet, but again, just no reason to slow play there. Our hand is vulnerable as well because, you know, with there being 2 hearts out there, if he does have a flush draw, which he could definitely something he could have, be calling with be calling with any kind of like suited hands, but being a weak player again, playing 46% of his range, definitely don't want to slow play. Just want to c-bet there, 2/3, and yeah, take it down. 9-2 here, big blinds. So we call. A multi-way again, so 9-2, we're not going to be doing anything. Ace-King offsuit. And definitely going to be opening this up here. So at this stage of the tournament now, I'm opening up 2.5x at the 50-100 level. Basically, like what I like to do is I like to look around the table and look at stack sizes and then determine my opening size from there. So the effective stack here at this table is actually this guy here, was an M of 19. So normally, like when I see somebody with between an M of 10 and M of 20, I'll open it up 2.25x. But with this guy being pretty close to 20 and having such a strong hand like Ace-King offsuit, I decided to bet 2.5. When I was thinking about it even more so at the 50-100 level, I could have actually 3x this as well, just because I want to kind of avoid a multi-way pot with Ace-King offsuit. But I did bet to 2.5x. And unfortunately, yeah, we did get a multi-way pot, and clearly this is not something I'm happy about. So we're just gonna check here and give up, even though like this is a really small bet, only a 2 big blind bet. Multi-way, it just doesn't make any sense for us to continue here. And as you can see, we get a lot of action in front of us. I took a note on this guy that he did not 3-bet Ace-Queen suited. Queen 4 here. So I think you guys can see everything pretty good on the screen. Looks like you can. So here we're just going to take the option, and we get middle pair. So he checks, and we're definitely just going to throw out a bet here. So I throw out a 2/3 pot size bet. He's probably going to miss this most of the time unless he does have a king, and he folds it. We just take it down. 9-6 offsuit here in the big blind. We're at 60-120 right now. And with these opens and this jam here, easy fold. Queen 6 offsuit here in the small blinds. What is this hand doing? Oh, because I said where we face a jam, but obviously we're not calling there. Obviously going to fold here in the big blind. Don't have to look at that one. Pocket eights. Okay, so this is an interesting spot. This guy open limps, and this guy isolates 5x. This player is a 2013 through 134 hands. Pretty solid stats from this guy. Seems like probably a reggish player. So this is a pretty big. This is a pretty big bet here related to my stack. So this is what, 1,000 divided by 41. This is 24% of my stack. Really, I shouldn't be calling this here. It seems crazy though. It's like I have 8s now. Actually, I have an M of 9 here. So we definitely can call this here. But with an M of 9, I think I can 3-bet jam this here. And I think that's what I did. Because we don't want to fold. I mean, if 8s are too strong to fold here. And we just can't call 25% of our stack. So, yeah, you can't call here. So I do believe I jammed it. Yeah, and I did. I jammed the 8s. And this guy ends up calling. What is going on there? Google No Agenda, by the way. Thanks for hanging out. And we go 3 ways. And we hit a set. So we took it down. Oh, you're folding? Yeah, with the stack size, it's I don't think we can fold. Because it's a pretty strong hand, and we have an M of 9 with 21 big blinds. Based on my ranges, and I looked it up, obviously, when I was playing last night. Based on my ranges, this particular stack size versus... what do you mean I'm way behind? What does that mean? Oh, you mean way behind here? I thought like way behind, like in the video or something like that. When I looked at my well, not always, because this guy's isolating. He could have a hand like ace king, ace queen, something like that. We have a pair. So when I looked at my ranges for my stack size versus an under the gun open, it is just like a jam here. We can take a look at this. Let's go take a look. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we can actually go take a look at this one in ICMizer, actually. So let me open up ICMizer now. I don't know if it's going to work, because sometimes ICMizer doesn't like dealing with limps. We shall see. Gotta make sure I just have this up here properly. Yeah, like the ranges call for just like a 3-bet jam there. And also this is still pretty early on in the tournament too. This is the 100-200 level. And 100-200 level on BetOnline is early compared to like global, where it's kind of sucks. Like here you can still rebuy because you get more chips. So like if I bust there, like I just rebuy easily, no problem. Alright, so anyway, let's just take a look real quick though. Let's see if it's able to do it. A lot of times it has problems with limps. So this guy here, let's just say, we'll give him a range of, we're not going to say like a 3. It's kind of hard to give him like a real range, but let's just start with 13%. Hope you can see it fine, no problem. Actually, that's what they gave him, is 13%, which I think this is fine, actually. I think these hands here probably would just overlimp, though. These other hands could definitely isolate. But, I mean, that's how I would play. Maybe this guy would isolate, but I don't know what this guy's isolation range is. But, so, we'll just give it this. This is slightly less than 13%. And let's see, he is the hijack. So they would say the hijack would call with 7s plus ace 10 ace jack, which I think is fine because you got to keep in mind I was short here too. You know, I wasn't deep at all at this point. All right, so we'll calculate. And yeah, eights are definitely a jam here. So there you go. We're jamming 2s and up, which actually is this is exactly like almost like how my ranges look that I'm using. So this actually verifies my ranges as well, that we would be 3-bet jamming here. So there you go. Cool. Next hand. Pocket 3s. So now we have an M of 27 after winning that. That was a pretty huge all. And by the way, this was a freaking huge pot we won, huh? Because of the fact that it was a 3-way all in. Pretty sweet. So we have now an M of 27. So M of 27, this guy open limps, which you know he's been doing, of course. Look at this. This guy through 33 hands is a 94-13 and is limping 78% of the time. It's huge. So a hand like pocket 3s here, we're just going to overlimp. And just look to hit a set, and when we don't. Well, you know, I wouldn't say that. It's just, you know, obviously I'm using my ranges. So, you know, and that's like part of my training that, you know, as I continue to learn this game. So maybe I would have done the same exact thing as you did in the past as well. So you're not a fish. Google no agenda. Pocket 3s, okay. Obviously, we just folded up. Even though it's a min bet, no reason to, you know, we only have 2 outs, really. Nothing to really look at there. Nothing to look at there. All right, 10-9. Again, situation, this guy open limps, 10-9 suited. We're not going to isolate 10-9 suited. We definitely just want to overlimp this. Speculative hand. And then we get this raise over here. And this is not something we're going to continue with now. Now the open limper. This guy was the open limper, right? Now he jams. So let's see what he had. Let's see the open limp jam and what he has. Oh, we know we get it. Oh yeah, I remember this hand. This guy was like, yeah, if you like open limp jam, obviously I'm not going to call you. You would jam 99.5% of the time. You're talking about the eight hand, the 8s. King 5 offsuit. Okay, so this is a limp pot. And, oh, this is interesting. I didn't realize I did this. That's cool. Oh, this is interesting. So I didn't realize I did this, but I'm kind of glad I did. So this is a limp pot. We have top pair. Good kicker. Oh, okay, yeah. So jamming is oh, you would jam 99 50%? Or 99.5%. I have a 10-second delay. There shouldn't be any delay. You know, I've noticed that when I was like rewatching my videos, that my lips don't seem to be matching my words. Are you noticing that? Because if that's the case, I don't know how to fix that. But I was noticing yesterday when I was just looking at a replay. Like, do you notice? Do you notice anything like that? Like just the lips not matching the sound? Because there's no delay in the stream at all. The stream shouldn't have a delay. Sound is synced. Huh. Weird. I don't know if it's something on my computer or what. Okay. Anyway, maybe there's a delay. I don't know. What? Maybe I think there's just like a natural delay with Twitch. Actually, I don't think Twitch is actually like super like always real time. I think I read something about that. Anyway, this hand here. So, I don't really consider this a donk bet because he open limped and we just took the option. So he calls. And now a 9 comes out and check, and he bets. So, interesting hand. I don't know really what to think about this. I don't really want to analyze that one too deep. Queen 10 suited. So we get the open here from under the gun. We're just going to call. And this guy then proceeds to jam his M13 stack. And we're definitely going to fold there. Not a question. Ace Queen suited. So we get the 3x under the gun open. 3x under the gun open from the guy who is limped 78% of the time, playing 94% of his hands. He has opened 4 hands. Also note that this guy open limped jammed this guy over here before. So that being said, when this guy calls here, like we have 2 options. We can squeeze here, or we can call. So if I have ace queen offsuit here, I'm more likely to squeeze. But because we have a hand like ace queen suited that will play well multi-way, and what's going to probably end up being an inflated pot anyway, plus we're playing versus a guy who normally open limps, I decide just to call here. And we get a pretty damn good flop, I would say. Not the best flop. It is definitely a vulnerable flop, you know, because obviously King Jack makes a straight. We don't know what this guy kind of hand this guy has. He could always have a hand like pot. I'm going to say he's going to have a pretty strong range because of the fact that he limps most of the time. So he could have connected with this board. Maybe, you know, God forbid, he could have like pocket queens and have a set here. Oh, it's less likely because we have a queen, but could always have pocket kings, pocket jacks. I feel like we're probably good here a lot, though. He does c-bet here, pretty big, which is fine. And so what I think what I decide to do here is I think I end up raising here because my hand is vulnerable. And yeah, I put it all in. Let me see here. I don't really think there's any other option besides just putting it all in, because if I raise him to 6K, I only have like 3K left. So I guess jamming is the only option. The only other thing I could have done is just called here, and then we get it all in on the turn. I guess it's something I could do as well. But I was definitely concerned with this particular board, and because like God forbid a freaking king comes out or a jack comes out or something like that, it's gonna be really annoying. The board pairs, like our hand is just so vulnerable here. Like we need to raise here. Yeah, I think jamming is really the only option. I just don't think calling is the right play, even though we can get all in on the turn. I mean, no matter what, we're committed here because let's see, we're the effective stack, so it's an SPR of 2.8. No matter what, we're committed. So then the question is, like, what's the best line here? Well, I think the jam is fine anyway, because like this guy has this like a really strong range anyway. He's opening up 13% of his hands, but he's limping a ton, so he's gonna have such a tight range. Yeah, it's definitely vulnerable. Plus, he should call a lot. I mean, he doesn't here, I don't think. Oh, he does. Okay, nice. So what does he have? I didn't realize he called. Great. Huh. It's a bit of a nightmare board. Well, there you go. He had ace-5. Is there a way I don't know if I could bring this down a little bit more for you. I'm just trying to adjust this here because I see you're not really be able to see their cards as well. I don't think I can make it. Is this okay? This is fine, right? You can see this okay? Put it over here. You guys don't need to see all my icons. Alright. Yeah, and you can see this a little bit better now. See the hand a little bit better. Yeah, so he has ace-5 offsuit. So he opens. This is weird, right? We never would have put ace-5 offsuit into his opening range. Somebody who's open limping a ton. But that's what he did. And yeah, he had the ace and he couldn't fold. So good for us. Yeah, it's like so weird, right? Meanwhile, this guy's like limping. Like he's got 78% limping range. Yet he's opening up 3x ace 5 offsuit. Kind of strange. Oh, I got to go my activities. I got a foul. Hey, Blues Rock 1. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we have ace 9 suited here. So we get an open limp from this guy here who has an M of 4. So he's... I'm just going to make it bigger. I think it's fine bigger. I like it bigger. All right, so we got ace 9 suited here. This guy open limps. This is a weird spot. I think I'd rather just... I don't know. This is a weird spot. Ace 9 suited as an isolation or an overlimp. What did I do? I did overlimp. Yeah. Well, we got this guy here who's short. This guy here who's short. This guy here who's short. I guess. I'm not really sure the correct answer here. If I should be... I don't think ace 9 suited. I want to isolate ace 9 suited under the gun. Versus a guy who's short as well. Like, I'd have to just, like, put him all in. And I don't want to jam ace 9 suited here with all these other people left to act. And this is early in the tournament. So a lot of the weaker players are here. But that being said, now this guy raises it up. So I just fold now because we're not going to play ace 9 suited out of position. Yeah, so I don't know if I played that hand correctly or not. I think so, though. I'm not going to fold, obviously, and I'm not really crazy about isolating there. Uh, 7-3 suited. Obviously, fold us in the big blind. Jack 2. These are just coming in because we were facing jams, but obviously we're not calling. All right, pocket tens. All right, here we get limp, limp, limp. So we're definitely isolating this here. I bumped it up to 2,000. I actually kind of wish I bumped it. I made it a little bit less, like 1,750. Make it 3.5x. Yeah, 1,750. So, but I didn't catch myself on that one, and I made it 2K. And we still go multi-way, and the flop is horrendous. So it goes check, check, and I decided to check it here. I think that's a mistake. All right, so here's the reason why but I don't know, maybe it's not a mistake. This is the reason why I didn't c-bet here. The reason why I didn't c-bet here is because of this guy's stack size. It's already a super bloated pot. And let's say I c-bet 33%. That's a bet of 2,524. So now, if this guy now jams all in, I have to call. We're just committed. We have to call. It would suck. So betting here just would really suck because he's going to jam and he's going to have either an ace or a queen, or something that beats us. And that's why I don't bet here and I decide to check. If this guy had, say, like this guy's stack, then I'm 100% c-betting here. But because of this guy's stack size here, that really prohibits me from c-betting in a multi-way pot. If this were a heads-up pot, different story. I'm definitely c-betting here. But with it being multi-way, I decide not to c-bet because we don't want to face a jam here from this guy. And now he does jam. And get the call. We fold, of course. Let's see. Huh. So he had pocket nine. So he definitely would have jammed us all in, and that would have put us in an annoying spot where we would have had to call, and then we would have been frustrated because we would have lost to a set. This guy calls a jam with a gut shot, by the way. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Ace 10 offsuit. Let's see. We got this jam here. This guy is an M1. This guy calls, so I mean this is just an easy fold now at this point. We're not gonna. This guy has an M of 19. We have an M of 15. This guy calls the jam, which is always suspect when he's calling, because when he's calling, he's almost like trying to induce more action. So Ace 10 is gonna be a fold here, and this guy then rejams, and this guy folded. This guy so he wasn't trying to induce anything. Pocket Ace versus King 6, which King 6, I mean, again, this guy is an MO1. He has 2 big blinds. He's going to be jamming super wide. Pair of 8s rejamming is really interesting. I don't know if I love this play at all. When this play, I don't know about this at all, because when this guy just calls the jam, I don't know. That's a weird play for 8 for the 8s. I don't think I could fold it. Maybe he just calls it. What percentage of his stack was that? I'm just curious. I want to see. I mean, because he has an M of 11. He doesn't really need to do that. He calls. It's 9% of his stack. I mean, I think he can call. It's a weird spot though, because then he's calling and he's basically in a multi-way pot. I don't know. For me though, it's just like, what's he doing that with? I don't know if I love that play. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Because also he's jamming, and what's he really gaining by jamming here? He's risking so much. Where this guy is just all in with pennies. He's only going to get called by better, I think. But I'm not entirely sure. Here we open up. So now I'm opening up 2x, and that is because we have players at the table that have an M less than 10. So I'm opening up 2x. And we get raised here. And yeah, I mean, I'm just folding this up. This is a strong 3-bet under the gun versus under the gun. We'll be playing out of position with ace-jack offsuit, so I think it's a pretty easy fold. Queen 4. We're going to fold this up in the big blind. Ace-jack offsuit. We get this open limp here. Another open limp. So I definitely do want to isolate. This one here I do 1750. And we get called by both, so obviously the isolation fails. And the flop sucks. So we just check it. And we're going to get out of the way. King 5 off. So we get a 3x open from a player who's a 31-13 through 62 hands. So obviously not a very good player. Has a very tight opening range. Open limps. So a hand like King 5 offsuit here. It's not 3x. I mean, I think this is a pretty easy fold here. This is not gonna be a good hand to be playing out of position. So I think it's a pretty easy fold. Pocket 6s. Here he has an M of 32. We have an M of 16. This is a pretty easy call. Multi-way, and he c-bets here, and we don't hit, so we'll just get out of the way. 6-5 suited. We have M of 15 in front of us. We got to play with M of 12, M of 12, M of 24. So we should open this up here, 2.25x. So we do. We take it down. Queen Jack suited here. We get this jam from an M of 6, 14 big blinds. So I think this is a pretty easy fold here. I'm just curious, what would we call here in this spot? So let's just go look at this one in ICMizer. I remember I wanted to look at this one, not for questioning my call, but or my fold. I'm questioning what should we. Now we'll just use Nash equilibrium in this one. So should be calling nines and up, ace queen, ace king. So proper fold. Didn't think it wasn't, but I was definitely curious. You know, nines, tens, jacks, queens, king, aces. Queen jack suited again. This time in the big blind. This player here is opening. Now, 134 hands and attempt to steal. He doesn't really attempt to steal at all. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really steal at all. So that being said, this is just a 3-bet though. Queen jack suited in the big blind versus a button open. Just a 3-bet anyway. And we do. And we take it down. Pocket queens. Obviously, going to be opening this up here again. Just looking at stacks. We got a M of 8 right in front of us. M of 8 over here. So, just 2x it. No, I didn't 2x it. Interesting. I actually did 2.25x. So, that's interesting. Get a call. So this spot is interesting. All right, so what's the SPR here? 12, 9, 11 divided by 47, 20. All right, so we got 2.7 SPR, but we're not committed here because of the fact that we don't have top pair. This is a gross board too. Even though we do have a diamond, you know, what worries me about this hand is obviously flushes are worrisome because he's going to call with some suited connector hands. I mean, he's going to should call it a pretty big range. So he can call with some suited connector hands. He can call with hands like pocket threes, pocket twos, ace two, ace three, hands like that I'd be worried about. So, and he could call with a lot of aces, of course. He's going to call probably most of his aces here. So just a gross board. He checks. We definitely going to c-bet though. We're not going to not c-bet, of course. We're going to c-bet this board. Because you can get a lot of folds on monotone boards as well. Plus, we can easily represent the ace. We can easily have a flush. We can have a lot of good stuff. So yeah, we're obviously going to c-bet here, and we c-bet small. You know, he is an M of 8. But we're not committed. Again, we're not committed here because we don't have top pair. But we do want to c-bet here and just try and take down this pot. He's an M of 8, so you know we're c-betting small. We're c-betting 33%. And he jams all in, and I mean this is a pretty easy fold here. Again, there's so much that he could have that's gonna beat us here. When we think about, you know, he's an M20. I mean, if we go to look at his range, we can take a look at his range here. Let's break out the Flopzilla. Where are you, thou Flopzilla? Move that over to the screen. Bring out the Flopzilla. Okay, make sure you guys can see it, because we haven't looked at a situation like this yet. So let's go look at it. All right, so Queen of Spades, Queen of Diamonds. This particular player in the big blind. If I just take a look at his big blind stats, we have 134 hands. I can show you here that in the big blinds, he's seeing about 31% of a hand so far. Obviously, very small sample size, but he's seeing about 33% of hands. He hasn't 3-bet anything yet, but again, the small sample size, he hasn't had many opportunities. But just for argument's sake, we'll give him a larger range here. But we'll take out, I think we'll take out, like, we're under the gun. And he'd be 3-bet jamming. I think he'd be 3-bet jamming a lot here, though, too. Like, he should be 3-bet jamming a lot of these stronger hands. Maybe calls this stuff here. Let's give him all these aces too. So it's like 33% right here. You shack offsuit. Alright, so like 32%. And then the flop is 2 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, ace of diamonds. So he's flopping 22% top pair, 5% 2 pair. He's got some sets, like I said. He's got some straights too, which I didn't even think about. A 5-4, which is possible. Obviously, you know, only 3 combos of that. He's got a bunch of flushes here. 5% of his range is flushes. So he's in pretty good shape against us, actually. So like when we bet now and he jams, I don't think he's doing that with these king flush draws or OESD. He doesn't have any OESDs. And I don't think he's jamming with flush draws. So if he's just jamming top pair or better, we have 38% equity. Yeah, I mean, it's right on the cusp here. We need 37% equity to call, and, like, we're right on the cusp there. The thing is, like, we just don't really have many outs. What do we want to see? We want to see any diamond. So we have all the diamond outs. And queen outs. But I think here, I mean, it's really close. It's really close. If we're assigning him like an accurate range here, it's pretty darn close. 37%. And we have 38% equity. So I think I'm okay with this fold. I didn't realize actually, the funny thing is I didn't realize actually how close it actually was. This is a lot closer than I thought it was. And I remember thinking about it last night and saying, well, I mean, I could still get the second nut flush. It's really interesting. What flops am I calling a jam? Am I calling the jam with? This is, I mean, it's tough because not many, considering we need 37% equity. There can't be an ace out there, I'll tell you that. I mean, if we change this to like a king of diamonds, we now have 35% equity. Let's see if we do a jack of diamonds. So jack of diamonds. With a jack of diamonds, we have 58% equity. If you're not calling the jam, it's hard for you to c-bet. Well, why would it be hard for you to c-bet? You definitely want to c-bet there because he's going to fold a lot. You know, I'm just giving you his best hands. You definitely got to c-bet there. You want to continue the initiative. That 100% you want to do. And I'm c-betting a third pot. So it's not a big c-bet there. But you definitely want to c-bet there because you get a lot of folds. By not c-betting, you're playing passive and you're giving up at that point. And now he could literally bet with any 2 cards and you're going to have to fold. You have to c-bet there. And you can c-bet and not call the jam. You know, so my hand, you know, you have to c-bet there. I would c-bet any cards there. There's no cards I wouldn't c-bet there. With the ace being out there, I would c-bet literally any 2 cards there that I have. That's not the question. The question is in terms of calling the jam. So if it's a jack-high monotone board, then I can call. It's a 58% equity at that point, and 58% equity at that point, and then we can call. So jack of diamonds is the key. So it's basically because we might not have top pair that we have to fold it. It's not even about the diamonds at this point. Because if, let's say it's ace of clubs out there. Ace of clubs is even worse, right? Because now we have 26% equity. Folding the top of your range. Well, I mean, is queens the top of my range there? If we think about what my range would look like in that spot, I don't think queens are at the top of my range. I'm going to have plenty of aces there. I'm going to have plenty of aces there that I'm opening up with, because he was the big blind, so we were under the gun. Our range is going to look something like this. This is definitely not the top of our range because this is second pair. This would be second pair here. So our range, let's say, is... I'm opening up 7s through aces here. I'm opening up all my suited aces here. I'm opening up down to ace-jack. I'm opening up king-queen off. I'm opening up all my suited broadways here. So my opening range is going to look something like this. So I have so many aces here that are going to call that jam. And the aces are going to call the jam. The only thing that sucks about the aces, of course, is the fact that I wish I didn't get rid of that one because I would have opened up Equilab. But yeah, I don't think queens are the top of our range here at all. Because let's see, it's ace of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds. So I mean, the top of our range is going to be we have 39% top pair, 4% two pair, 2% sets, 4.17% flushes. So pocket pair, below top pair, everything here. Kings down. Obviously these hands here. And the draws. So we got so many better hands to call with than queens. Queens are definitely not the top of our range. Hence the fold. And again, we just took a look at the math part of it too, which is important to remember, is the fact that it's close. We have 38% equity, and we need 37. It's like right there. So if we want to call and hope to hit another diamond and possibly win the hand, assuming that he's not doing that with a king of diamonds, then I think it's okay. But other than that, I think, the fold is definitely the right play there. So that being said, because, yeah, queens are the top of our pre-flop range, but they're not the top of our post-flop range here. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of people fall into, is they fall in they look at their range pre-flop and then bring that to post-flop and still say, well, this is my range. But your range changes post-flop. The value of your hand changes post-flop. While pocket queens are a great pre-flop hand, then doesn't always mean they're a great post-flop hand. Because if you have a board of ace, king, whatever, queens are now third pair. But so I think that's a problem that a lot of people fall into, is they fall in love with their pre-flop hand and then don't readjust their range in thinking about the value of their hand post-flop. And I think it's a mistake a lot of people make. And that's why people then will call off, like with an ace being on the board, people will call off with pocket kings, call down. You see people do it all the time. There's an ace on the flop, and their opponent bets 3 streets, and they sit there calling 3 streets with pocket kings. Or even worse, there's like, the board is like, you see people do it where like, let's say you have 4 diamonds out here, and they don't even have a king of diamonds. And they'll call down 4 streets because they're like, well, I got pocket kings. Yeah, but you're beat. And you gotta realize that. So yeah, it's important to remember, that your range, you have a pre-flop range, you have a post-flop range. Post-flop range is not the same as a pre-flop range. Next. 7-2 offsuit. How'd this one get in here? Because I have it in big blind. Pocket nines. So we have an M of 7 right now. So we get limp. This guy jams an M of 6. So I think we're supposed to call here with the nines. I do. Am I folding king there? Am I folding king there? If I have a king of diamond, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm curious what my equity is on that one. I don't know if we can. I wish there was a freaking. Is there a way I could go to do undo on here? Can I go undo like a billion times to get back to my that other range? There is. See if we can just do undo a billion times to get back to. I want to see if we can go back to where I had that other range. I think we can. Control Z. Because I'm curious. I want to see. All right, let's see. This is cool. I never knew I could do this before. It's pretty sweet. All right, let's see. Let's see what it is. Let's see the math. It's 39%. I mean, it's, again, right there. It's the same exact thing. Me, knowing myself, yes, I would fold it. But I was curious about the math here on it. The math, again, the same thing like before. It's right there. It's so close. But, yeah, I would be folding it. I absolutely would be folding it, too. I would be. For the same exact reasons, I would be folding it. But, yeah, it is close. It's very, very close. Pocket nines, of course, easy call. Because we're short 2, and pocket nines, obviously, this is the, what, 5th best pre-flop hand, and, you know, we're getting it all in pre-flop. And, anyway, the math would say, I think, to call here no matter what anyway. I could even go and look in, IC money, but I don't really think it's necessary. And, you're up against ace-jack, and obviously we held. We actually ended up getting a straight. Curious, so I just want to take again, just a look here too, and see what else should I be calling with. Not that much more. Pocket eights up. Ace jack suited up. Ace jack offsuit up. So not too much we would be calling with here, but enough, and nines are the correct call. Ace 4 suited. So we have an M of 15 right now after winning that all in. And here I open it up 2.25x. We don't... So I could have opened this up 2x here as well with this guy sitting here with an M of 8. I opened up 2.25x. I'll just take it down. 4-2 suited. Just folding that, of course. King, queen off. Yeah. So, this is another one of those spots. It's just an annoying spot. So, I isolate up here 2.5x versus this guy. This guy is a loose passive player. And we get jammed here. So this guy's an M of 8. I want to look this one up. But I feel like king, queen offsuit probably is the proper fold here. The thing that was just annoying about it is, like, I wasn't really sure if I should be isolating here or not. But I opted to because I don't want to fold king, queen offsuit. And I definitely don't want to overlimp. I don't want to overlimp king, queen offsuit because it's not going to play well multi-way. Which is why I isolated, because I don't want to fold king, queen offsuit here. But I'm pretty sure this was definitely the correct fold. I'm going to double check it. Yep. Correct fold. Oh, well, wait, no. Hang on. I don't have king queen off my isolation range there. Should add king queen off in there. See, I wouldn't isolate with these. I would probably overlimp with these here. Ace 9, I know it would overlimp. I would not isolate ace 10. These here I would overlimp. Yeah, I think this is good. Ace 10 suited, I might even overlimp here too as well. So yeah, king queen offsuit's definitely a fold. Yep. Ace 10 offsuit. This guy limps. I bet into him. Pocket kings. Hey, but a king of diamonds. So this guy limps as always. So I decide I could jam the limp here, or I can just isolate. I decided to just isolate here with the kings, and just get some post flop action. And he calls. And I mean, this is a spot here where again, like we have, it's the effective stack here is 18,740 divided by 10,360. So this is the perfect spot, right? It's a 1.8 SPR. We are pot committed. We're getting it all in here, no matter what. So the question is, how do we do it? Well, I think the best plan of action here is going to be, this is how I would handle this, is c-betting a third pot, and if he raises it, then we're definitely calling, without a doubt. We're calling off his jam. So if we bet and he jams here, it's 100% a call. We're committed. 1.8 SPR. We've got top pair. We're committed. So we throw out our third pot size bet, which is my standard bet size. And he does raise it. Well, he raised. So this is interesting. He raises it. So now I have a decision. Should I raise him all in? Or should I just call? What's he raising with here? It's an interesting spot. Interesting spot. I remember what I did. I'm just trying to think about it a little more. If I call, that's going to make the pot that would make the pot 20 like 24K. I don't like losing the initiative on the hand though, and I think that's why I like to just put it all in, because the fact he's even 3-betting with his stack size, he should just really be jamming me with his stack size. I don't see the value in just calling here. I think we just jam it all in with the kings. Yeah, I don't think I'm dead though. This is a really weak player. I think it's probably either a hard draw or it's a weak player overvaluing his queen. And that's the thing. And that's another reason why I actually like jamming here. Because let's say an ace comes out on the turn. That could totally kill any action we have. So I think it's just better just getting it all in now. If he has a queen, he's never folding the queen. Because he's committed as well with a queen. He's committed with the queen. We're committed with the kings. So I think because we're committed here, he raises it. We know we want to get this thing all in anyway. We just jam it. Oh, 1 second. I'm getting a phone call from the wife. Hello? Hey. Why are they asking you about it? All right.
But they're trying to text me when you're not answering, so.
Oh, got you. I don't understand why they can't just take the bus. All right, I'll deal with it. Okay, bye. Bear with me 1 second. My kids are being annoying. Okay. So, yeah. I definitely jam here, of course. And he calls it. And, yeah, as suspected, he had a queen that he couldn't fold. So, we end up taking down a nice pot. And just to make it even better for us, we end up hitting a set on the river. But yeah, that's it. I mean, the bottom line is we're committed. He's committed. It's getting all in. Why waste time? Let's just do it now. Before, like, this ace comes out. Think about it. If I just, like, would have called, this ace could have totally killed my action, and I don't get his entire stack. All right, give me 1 second. I just gonna mute my I just gotta send a text message real quick. 1 second. Yeah, I think it was definitely just the right play. I'm glad. Well, let's keep it going. Pocket sevens. So we have an M of 18. In front of us, we got a guy with an M of 5. 8. So we're just going to min open it. Just take it down. King Jack off. I'm trying to work with my girls so I don't have to pick them up from school later since I'm off today. About how to use Uber and setting up an Uber account. Tired of driving them. It's like, get an Uber. Have my girl start getting Ubers now. But I don't know. I was thinking about playing this afternoon, but I'm starting to get a headache. I might just take a nap instead, and then maybe I will pick them up. End up wasting my money on Uber. Freaking kids. All right, King Jack here in under the gun. What's going on there, Wolf brother? I am back. Yes. Oh, is that a thing? You have to be 18 plus? I didn't know that. Oh, I guess I won't be able to. I guess that means I got to pick them up, which means I'm not gonna be able to play any tournaments today. I don't understand what's wrong with these kids. Just take the freaking late bus. What's wrong with these kids? I used to take late buses all the time when I was a kid. They're like, well, you know, we get out at like 2:30 and 2:40, and the late bus is until 3:30. Like, learn how to wait. Freaking kids. Don't have teenagers. You know how it is. It's the worst. Anyway. My rant is done. Let's get back to studying. King Jack, because this is on YouTube, by the way. This will be on YouTube. So my rant is on YouTube now about kids. Okay, anyway. King Jack offsuit. We min open it here. Again, same reason as the sevens, and we take it down. 7-4 offsuit. Just gonna be a fold. We're not gonna play this multi-way. Queen 7 suited. So we're gonna open this up here. So this was kind of, I remember this hand. This was kind of fun. So I could have done one of two things here. I could have jammed him, but I decided to open because I wanted to see what kind of reaction I would get from this player with an M of 5. Will he re-jam me here, or can I successfully steal without having to jam? Definitely Queen 7 can definitely be a jam here. In fact, I'll show you guys. If we go to IC Miser, I'm almost 100% sure we should be jamming. We should be jamming Queen 7 here. I could be wrong. Hang on 1 second. You have to be 18 plus to get an Uber alone, right? Oh, I just read that message. Read the message twice. Okay. Yes, look, we're just jamming like all this crap here. But I wanted to see like what kind of player he was and if he was going to actually re-jam me here. And if he re-jammed me here and obviously I folded, then I would know going forward the next time that I should actually just jam him and not give him an opportunity to jam on me. So I raised it here and he actually just called. Oh my god. My kids are so... Can you leave me alone? Alright. Apparently her friend in 8th grade uses it, so... Alright. So here in this board here, I'm definitely going to be c-betting. 1/3 pot. Yeah, I don't know either. My kids seem to know everything. I don't know. Apparently I know nothing. I know poker, that's about it. So I'm c-betting here at 3rd pot. Just betting our range here. And we take it down. Ace-3 offsuit. Folds to us here. Again, I'm just going to min open it. And we get a call. And definitely just going to, again, c-bet here. 3rd pot. And we take it down. Blind versus blind. He limps into us. This guy was limping into us a ton. We're just going to take the option. And then he bets, easy fold. Ace-Jack offsuit. Going to be opening this one up here. It's min open it. And take it down. Pocket jacks. Again, this guy's limping a lot. I do the 2.5x isolation. We get a call. So we'll go multi-way. And obviously this is a terrible pot multi-way. Terrible flop multi-way. And then when he leads in, easy fold with the jacks. See, this is a good example of not falling in love with your hand pre-flop. Because a lot of people still might call here with jacks. But jacks now multi-way with an ace being out there is just not a good hand. It's a great hand pre-flop, but not a good hand post-flop multi-way. So, we fold it. Look, could he have had a pair of 9s there that he's betting? Absolutely. But, just better off to fold it. Yeah, absolutely. I just sent my daughter a text because now she asked me a question. I'm like, can I just deal with this when I'm done? Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Walk. Use your legs and walk. Everybody has communication. If they have legs, they can walk. Just walk home. It'll take you like 2 hours to get home. You can walk. It's freaking kids. They're so lazy. Kids are so lazy. Anyway, this isn't a rant about children. Although they're making me lose my hair like way too often these days. Yeah, there were no draws as well, exactly. But draws, but you know, yeah, exactly. Well, you know, I kind of wish he did check, because if he did check, I absolutely would have c-bet. I probably would have taken down that pot. So I was definitely disappointed when he bet. I don't even think it's considered a donk bet in a multi-way pot. I don't even think it's considered a donk bet. I just think it's, you know, multi-way. It's like a completely different animal. Queen 6 suited. We get this jam here from M4 stack, and I think this is an easy fold here. From under the gun. I don't have to check it. Jack 9 suited here. Come in openness. Take it down. I don't even think it's an exploitative fold though either, because I mean we have probably second pair. All right, so we have A7 suited. We are min opening it. Yeah. I don't know if this is the proper terminology or not, but it doesn't matter. Get a call. And yeah, so here's a hand where we flopped enough flush, and it's not vulnerable at this stage. So I decided to actually check back here and not c-bet. Because this is a board that I would check back a lot. Unless I felt my hand was vulnerable. If I miss this board, I'm gonna check this back a lot. I'm not gonna c-bet this board just because like it doesn't really hit my range very well at all, and it hits his range so much better. I decide to check this back here. Also, our hand is not vulnerable at all as well, so I decided to check this back here. Just thinking about my range and not my hand value. Obviously, I'm really strong here, but chances are a lot of c-bets here he's going to fold out on. So I decided to check back here. And 2 comes out on the turn. I'm really actually not very happy about this 2. The last thing I wanted to see was the board pairing. So when he decides to pro bet here, I decided to raise it up. Raising it up gives me back the initiative. But also I'm raising to gain back the initiative, and also I'm raising for protection now, because now all of a sudden this hand gets a little bit scary now that the board is paired, because now my hand actually is vulnerable. So I do decide to raise this up here, and unfortunately folds. So he was probably just pro betting with like really any 2 cards is quite possible. But I felt like I definitely needed to raise on that turn. Ace-10 suited. Bump it up. Get a call from the button. And of course, call from this guy is playing 40% of his hands. And not a good flop multi-way for us at all. Pocket 9s. So we get the jam here from no, it's not a jam. Okay. Oh god, yeah. So I remember this hand last night. So this guy has an M of 6, 14 big blinds, and he's opening up. This is like what? 4x. It's 4.4x, like 4.5x. It's a huge open. I remember this was just such an annoying spot, because here I am sitting with 9s and big blind. The odds I'm getting are pretty bad. And in terms of, I have to call what? 7920 minus 1800. I have to call 6120. That's 8% of my stack. I don't know. It just seemed like, the thing is about this particular hand is it's alarming, because I'm going to tell you, there's a couple of reasons why I'll say it's alarming. I remember a few hands prior to this player had pocket 6s under the gun. Again, with a small stack, a stack that he should be jamming. And I'm going to take a look at this in the Isomizer in a second. And he open limped in a stack that he should be jamming. And I took notice of that. I thought this was really interesting, because I think I was only playing this one table at this point. And I said, that's really interesting that he did that where he should be jamming. And the hand did eventually go to showdown, and he had pocket 6s. So he didn't jam pocket 6s, which is a clear jam in that spot. So I said, well, if he doesn't jam pocket 6s, what in the hell is he opening 4.5x under the gun when he should be jamming? So it felt very trappy. And that's one of the things that like my course went over, is situations like this when a player does something so strange. Now also, let's take a look at his stats. This guy is an extremely tight player. We have 205 hands, which is a decent sample size, and he has a VPIP of 7 and a PFR of 5. So this guy like never opens. This guy never opens. His range is 5%. So this is his range, approximately. maybe even less than this. 203 hands, so pretty decent. So it's enough of a sample size that VPIP and PFR are relevant. 205 hands. So this is like a player so super tight. So exactly, and that's what makes it even stranger. The fact that he's so short, he should be jamming. So instead of jamming, again, this player previously limped with a jamming stack. He limped, similar stack to this. He limped, open limped pocket sixes under the gun. Now he's open raising, instead of jamming, 4.5x. This is weird to me. Yeah, but I'm thinking about his range. I'm thinking about the fact that this guy is doing this. It seems like a very trappy play. Again, this is something my course went over. When players are doing something like this, especially under the gun, these plays that look trappy, generally they are. So let's take a look now. Let's bring this one over to ICMizer. Let me show you the rest of the hand first. So I decided to call. It's about 8% of my stack, and I decided, okay, it's fine for me to call because I've already committed 1,800 into the pot. And just to see a flop and see if I hit a set. And we check, and now he jams. Well, look at that too. Now he jams as well. And we fold, of course. No, the pocket eights hands I jammed. The pocket eight hand I jammed. That was different. That was an isolation. He isolated. And he didn't have a jamming stack. I had a jamming stack. So he wasn't short, I was short. And so I jammed. So that was a very different situation. Plus, that particular player, I think, I don't remember the stats exactly, but he wasn't super tight like this particular player here. But also, just again, looking at the history of the player, the fact that this player open limp pocket sixes. If this player open limp pocket sixes, what is he open raising 4.5x with? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. It's a weird play, and it seems very, very fishy. Like, why would he do that? And now, you know, so, and also just looking at his stats, this guy is never opening. Guy never opens. 10 out of 197 times this guy's opened. In fact, he never plays. He has a VPIP of 7. This guy is just ridiculously tight. And the fact that he's open limping sixes, what is he doing this with? It's strong. Now, could he have ace king or something like that? Sure. Is it possible? And then he jams? It is. But let's take a look. Let's look at I mean, the fact is, like, I'm profiling this player as a super, super tight player. Very different from that other player. So it's not, you know, it's a different situation. So let's paste this in here. Now I took a look at the equity, by the way, last night, and I did have enough equity to make the call. So that wasn't really the question, but I like the question of, like, should we have just jammed here? Well, first I got to assign him the proper range. This is not his range here. We know that. So we give him like a 5% range, right? It's a really tight range. We'll give him 9s as well. Why not? In fact, I'm going to even look at this. Look at this pop-up. Yeah, but he has a jamming stack. He should be jamming here. He should be jamming here. He should be jamming or folding at this point. He shouldn't be opening 4.5x. So you'll see players do that, where they have a stack they should be jamming with, but they have a hand like aces or kings or something like that, or even queens, and instead of jamming, they decide to just open it up. But again, it's a weird open size too. It's just such strange open size. It's just abnormal. This particular player here, his PFR early position is 4%. 2 out of 50 times he's done it. What's going on there, teaser? Hope you're doing well. So, let's see. Yeah. I should only be based on his range, I should only be rejamming jacks plus and ace king suited and ace king offsuit and folding pocket nines. Or I don't mind the call here. I took a look at the pot odds I got, and nines were okay to call there. And because if he has like aces or kings or something like that, and I land a set, then I'm gonna get paid. Honestly, I really don't know because it was just so strange that about the fact that he open limped pocket sixes when he should be jamming. And I'm not really sure to answer that question. So all I can really go on is what his pre-flop, what his PFR is. And his PFR through 205 hands is 5. And he's a 7-5. So, we know that 205 hands is more than enough. Yeah, but not paid much. Well, no, I think you don't think the implied odds are good, but if he has, let's say he has aces or kings, and I get a set, I'm getting paid there. I mean, look, he jammed. Look at this. Look at the way it played out post flop. I could have easily called with a pair of sevens or a pair of eights here. I get a set. He jammed. So I'm definitely getting paid because the same thing is happening. Because if he has aces or kings, unless he has queens, and then I'm really screwed. If he has aces or kings and he's jamming here, I am getting paid, absolutely. So that's a great thing about it, about having a speculative hand like that and then hitting the set. He's jamming no matter what. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's either ace, ace, king, king. So that's why the rejam range here, as you can see, is really, really small. Ace, king, and jacks plus. Yeah, well, and that's all I'm looking to do is I'm looking to get a set. And I had enough equity when I took a look at the range. Like if I look here, okay, this range here, and I have nines, right? What I have, it doesn't really matter what nines I had. I have 39% equity. Nines have 39% equity versus range. I'm not worried about a double up. I'm just worried more even still about about accumulating chips here, and I have 39% equity here. And I need only 33% equity to make this call, and I have 39% equity, even versus this particular range here of nines plus ace jack suited plus ace queen offsuit. So definitely can make the call, and we'll get paid or we won't get paid. And it was for 8% of my stack. So when I go look back at it, I think I played this hand actually perfectly. And then we check, he jams, and it's easy fold at that point because, obviously we're never going to have enough equity versus ace king, versus aces and kings. I don't think we could ever. I think at that point now, let's say he has that, we have 90% equity. It's an easy fold, of course. So yeah, I thought it was an interesting spot. I thought it was just it's definitely a very fishy play. And this player being as tight as he is, it just seemed really, really weird. So wait. I'm waiting. Does he jam ace king or ace jack post flop? I have no idea. I really don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know what he's doing, to be honest with you. I could have called him to find out, but I'm not going to call him to find out when I really feel like I am definitely beat there. I don't know what he's jamming post flop. I don't know. Let's see if we see a future hand where he does jam, and we can find out. But yeah, I don't know what he's jamming post flop. It's just a very, very fishy play when he does something like that. All right, moving on. King jack suited. Yeah, all I know, the only thing is all I know is this, right? Yeah, I see. I agree with Gonspot. The guy is a really tight. This is what we know. The facts of what we know is the guy's a really tight player, very tight player, right? Who we saw open limp pocket sixes when he should have jammed, and then open up 4.5x. We can assign him a really, really tight range. So we know that rejamming pocket nines is going to be a mistake, but we can definitely call because we're getting the right odds to call. And basically to set mine is really what we're looking to do. And when we don't get our set, and we have second pair, and we check and he jams, it's just a very easy fold. So I think the way the hand played out, it was pretty systematic, the way the hand played out. And the hand basically played itself. But damn it, why couldn't we have hit a set? All right, so here, again, this guy who's been just limping into our big blind every hand, pretty much. We're going to raise him up and fold. Ace-Jack offsuit here. We have M of 13. We open it up, 2x, and we get jammed here. This guy's an M of 5, and he jams a small blind. So I think this is a pretty straightforward call here. And I checked this one. I checked this one last night, and this is a call. So we call it off, and unfortunately he had king. He jammed us with king queen offsuit, which I think is fine. And unfortunately he beat us. And this was actually the hand that. So before this hand, we were actually sitting really pretty in this tournament. We're sitting 25th, in a pretty good spot. This is really the hand that really the downward spiral began with this hand, because we were in a pretty decent spot here, sitting 25th in the tournament, coming up towards the bubble, and this put us now in a spot where we were hovering right around the bubble the rest of the way. King queen off. So we have an M of 8 right now. So this is the spot where I'm not jamming. I could. This is a... Let me take a look at this spot here. Usually I don't jam with this stack size. So usually I jam M6 or lower, and I will open raise here and not commit myself to calling off a jam. So this is an interesting spot. So let me show you the hand here. I opened, and then this guy 3-bet jammed me here, and I folded. I want to take a look at this one here and see if this would see. I just want to take a look at this one. I questioned this, but it's really hard to call off king queen off here. Yeah, I don't know. Let's say. I was just kind of unsure of what I should do there. And usually when I'm unsure, I usually just go with the passive route. All right, so first thing I want to look at here, should I be calling his jam? And yeah, okay, so the fold was correct. The fold itself was correct. So then the other question is, how do we make it that nobody does anything yet? Can I just put nothing? How do I put it that nothing happened? That I don't know how to do this, actually. I don't know how to actually set this up. This is pretty bad of me. I don't know how to set this up. I don't know. I guess... Oh, no. Oh. Can I click no action? Oh, if I click no action... Oh, okay. Alright, cool. Now... okay. Alright, cool. So now let's see. Alright, so yeah, I should be jamming king queen off there, but again, I don't like to jam with that stack size. So that's why I just min opened it. So the fold is correct. So if I don't like to jam with that stack size, and I'm definitely opening king queen offsuit there, then I'm okay with the play. but I can jam it there. I probably do have a lot of fold equity, of course. Of course, God knows what button had. Yeah, exactly. Because I could open it up there and get folds anyway, and then get a steal. So, yeah, I agree. I don't mind the play, and I agreed with folding to the jam, and that is the correct play to fold. So, yeah, I'm okay with how we played it. All right, Queen 10 off. Here I just decided to take the option. And easy fold here. So pocket aces here. I decided, because I like to jam with this stack size, there are a lot of hands I would jam with, so I did decide to jam with aces. Plus, we could definitely get some calls as well. Wouldn't it be nice to get a double up? Unfortunately, we didn't get those calls. But I like to just jam there. I don't like to play games with pocket aces in this spot, especially like we're still like not in the money yet. I don't like to play games with pocket aces, and I just wanted to jam there, get it all in pre-flop. Somebody calls. I have an MS6. We should get called by like other pocket pairs and things. And if nobody has anything, then it is what it is. 8-7 off. Okay, so here now we have a pair. We just took the option. He c-bets into us here. Well, I wouldn't really call it a c-bet because he opened limp. But he bets min, so obviously with third pair, even though we're short, I'm just going to call it. And we get the magical 7 on the turn, which is really nice. He checks, so I decide to bet. I decide to bet small here. Try to induce some kind of a jam, maybe if he has a queen or a jack or something like that. But he folded. Jack 9 offsuit. So you get jam. No. Why is his hand in here? Ah, that's why his hand's in here. All right. Ace Jack off. We have an MS6. So again, it's a hand I'm going to jam here. And it gets through. Jack 9 offsuit. So this is a hand that I don't know. I think if he I think I would just fold. I think I'll just fold this here out of position given our stack size. I wouldn't be defending with Jack 9. I'm not going to be 3-bet jamming with Jack 9 offsuit here. This guy doesn't attempt to steal at all, 10 out of 38 times. So if this guy had a high attempt to steal, then we can definitely, if this guy had folded, then we can definitely 3-bet jam. But with this guy not really, type player, it doesn't seem like he's really too interested in actually trying to steal. 445 hands too, so a pretty good sample size. I would just fold this up here given our stack size. That being said, I fold anyway because we're not going to play that multi-way. Jack 8 off. Easy fold, of course. In the big blind. Ace 3 suited. So obviously we have a number 4. We're jamming. This guy calls. I mean, this is a standard jam here. With number 4, 9 big blinds. He calls. And we die. And that's the end of the tournament. So we finished in 67th place, and top 63 got paid. We played for like 4 hours. And it was like, no, come on. But, I wasn't interested in just making the money. I wanted to get a double up, and this is a 100% proper jam, as you guys can see. I don't really need to show you, but I will anyway, because this is the end. So why not? What else are we jamming here? We're jamming a lot of stuff here. You see, we're jamming a lot of stuff. This was one of the stuffs that we jam. And that's about it. Oh, there was one other hand I didn't jam, which I think I should have jammed. Where is it? By the way, disregard this graph. I never update Poker Tracker 4 with like Poker Tracker 4 with this site doesn't work in terms of the prizes and stuff like that, and I'd have to update it manually. And I have a spreadsheet, I keep track of it. So this graph is not accurate, just so you guys know. I never update the winnings in Poker Tracker. So every tournament looks like I've lost in Poker Tracker. All right, I just wanted to see one other hand here. I think it was like king. Oh my god, my children are so annoying. All right, let's go look at this last one. All right, oh, king 6 suited. I just want to look at this one right here because this one is I didn't jam, and I think I should have. Yeah. So I should have jammed here. And who knows, if I jam here, then maybe it keeps me out of that spot that I was in with the ace 3. But yeah, I should have definitely jammed here with the king 6. Wow, I should have jammed a lot here. So this is definitely a missed opportunity. Oh, well, it is what it is. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Do me a favor, if you're not yet following me here on Twitch, please click that follow button. I'm back streaming after taking a month of streaming off. We started streaming again last night. I'm going to be streaming all my sessions. And stream some of these study sessions too, because it kind of pushes me to study more. If you guys are watching me on YouTube, please do me a favor and click the subscribe button and click the like button. I appreciate that. And do me a favor, follow me on Twitter at PokerDad2878. My YouTube channel, if you're not following me on YouTube yet, it's PokerDad. It's youtube.com/PokerDad. And yeah, I will be back later streaming a session. So appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and participating. And for everybody who watched me on YouTube and Twitch, PokerDad